that first drive by the Giants, they go right down the field, 10 plays, 64 yards. So this is nothing to scoff at. This is a hell of a nice win. I was pleased with Kyle Shanahan's decision-making. Welcome into overtime here on 95.7 The Game. This was a much-needed Niner win, and for the first time all season, Sterling, they scored 34 points. Mac Jones, Christian McCaffrey, Brian Robinson, Juwan Jennings, hell of a day for the Niners offense. The defense was largely the reason they were winning this game through three quarters. The Giants offense got going in the fourth, but so did the Niners. 34 points for the Niners offense. Much needed win after last week's disaster in Houston. Sterling?
Well, I can tell you this, Mark. It's amazing what can happen when you run the football well and your defense can tackle, right?
Yep.
San Francisco came out the gate, and their offense looked phenomenal, matching the Giants in their first quarter score, and really never looked back.
Yeah.
I felt comfortable the entire game. Watching this one, San Francisco had control of this one from jump, in my opinion.
You felt comfortable after the Giants' first drive? 10-play, 64-yard touchdown drive?
I knew the Giants walked in with the sixth best first quarter offense, and they trickled down to 17, 20, and 21 in the subsequent quarters. So if the offense could answer, and they did, I feel pretty good. So I didn't feel worried, scared. I wasn't concerned. Even when Mac Jones got strip-sacked near the end of the first half, I said, you know what? It's not that bad. We're okay right now. You could still have a 2-score lead, but what a good day for San Francisco. Hopefully Micah Williams is okay. It seems like nobody else got hurt in this one, which is
knock on wood,
and kind of a godsend knowing you're playing in New York at MetLife Stadium. But a good win for San Francisco, back to 6-3 with the NFL trade deadline looming on Tuesday. What will they do? This game might change what their plans are on Tuesday's deadline. So a big win, a good win, and dare I say, bring on the Rams next Sunday.
Huge win. They will be 6-3. They get off the schneid after a really rough performance last week in Houston, and they're 6-3 through 9 games. And injuries or no injuries, if you told me Niners were 6-3 through 9 games this year, I would have taken it 100% of the time. So this is nothing to scoff at. This is a hell of a nice win. Now, are the Giants a good football team? No, especially not this iteration, down literally all of their starters in the secondary. Oddly enough, it wasn't really the passing game that was the reason the Niners won this game. It was the run game. Giants do have a really good defensive front, but more so against the pass than against the run. Impressive, though, nonetheless. And right off the jump, Sterling, I was pleased with Kyle Shanahan's decision-making. So we talked about that first drive by the Giants. They go right down the field, 10 plays, 64 yards. And by the way, McCaffrey was ruled short, 3rd and 1. They just picked it up. That's the first down. The clock will run. This game is officially over now.
Just a matter of time.
Just a matter of time. It's going to take one knee, and this ball game will be over. The Giants went right down the field to begin the game. 10 plays, 64 yards in about 4 minutes. They take a 7-0 lead. Then the Niners quickly face a 4th and 1. A 4th and 1, and they're at their own 41-yard line. So you're not across midfield. You are in dangerous territory where if you turn the ball over, the opponents are immediately in scoring range, and you decide to go for it, which I was pleading for. You know how I feel on 4th downs. I am ultra aggressive always. And Kyle Shanahan tends to be the other extreme. So I was worried he was going to punt. He originally sent the punt unit out there, then called timeout. And if you're going to call timeout, to think about it, you better decide to go for it, because if you punt it after calling a timeout, all you did was just waste a timeout that might prove valuable later on. So he called timeout, got the right play call in, which was a simple quarterback sneak. It worked. You get the first down. Then a handful of plays later, McCaffrey's in on a 5-yard touchdown catch, and you tied the game at 7, and you never look back. Sterling, I'm glad that Shanahan decided go for it on that 4th and short to begin the game in a dangerous situation, because if they don't go for it there, you punt the ball off, who knows what happens the rest of the game. That conversion and the subsequent touchdown drive, I think, really set the tone for the Niner offense today.
When there was some sense of your offense did not pick up their end of the bargain against the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
They scored under 15 points. It was a bad game. You couldn't move the football. You ran the football 8 times with Christian McCaffrey. He touched the football 7 times in that first drive alone. So you can tell there was this I don't want to call it desperation, but there certainly was this motivation to keep the offense on the field, keep your young defense rested. They weren't against Houston. They were today against the Giants, and a lot of that stems from Kyle going for it on fourth down, getting the conversion, then obviously scoring 7 points and making things even to keep the Giants somewhat on their heels at their home stadium without their two top offensive weapons. Like, that first drive could have changed a lot had the Giants stopped them. They could have had momentum. They could have been up 14-0. Who knows? But this was, I think, an all-encompassing win by San Francisco. The defense could tackle. They were really good throughout almost the entire game besides the fourth quarter, but that's more of kind of garbage time. The offense didn't miss a beat. How many explosive plays did we see against this banged-up Giants secondary? I love that. 39 yards to Christian McCaffrey, 20 yards to Bourne, 20 yards to Jennings. This Niners offense has not looked this good all year. Granted, against the bad Giants defense, but 34 points, I didn't expect that. And you hope you can get healthier week 10. This is a good win by San Francisco and a must-win game for them. So good bounce back, erase the Houston Texans game. Get to come back to San Francisco and be celebrating a victory is a big thing for the Niners this late in the season right now.
Yeah, absolutely. The final score is officially 34-24 Niners over the Giants. Niners now 6-3 after 9 weeks. You want to weigh in? Give us a call. Let us know what you thought. Niners set a season high in points. The defense was very good through 3 quarters. Giants scored a couple of touchdowns in the fourth quarter. The game wasn't completely over. Their first touchdown it was for the second, so I think a little misleading in 24 points allowed. The defense was largely very good in this game against the Giants offense. Down Cam Scadaboo and down Malik Neighbors is not one of the better units in football, but still a good performance through 3 quarters for this Niner defense, and then the offense as good as we've seen them be all year. If you want to weigh in, give us a call, 888-957-9570. Plus, I want to remind you, you're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, an Odyssey sports station, always live on the free Odyssey app, and now broadcasting from the Laughing Monk Studios. Sterling, you talked about explosive plays, and you brought up a bunch of them. 39 yards to McCaffrey, 20 yards to Jennings, 21 to Kendrick Bourne. Also, you had 21 yards to Sky Moore for his only catch of the game. Jordan Watkins had a 19-yard catch that could have been an interception that he ripped away from the defensive back, or maybe the defensive back was trying to rip away from him. Regardless, he got both his hands on that. A really nice catch by the rookie. And then on the ground, Brian Robinson had a really nice fourth quarter specifically. I mean, he just
best game as a Niner.
Absolutely. Big chunks almost every time he touched the ball. 5 carries for 53 yards, including an 18-yard touchdown run where he ran over a Giants defensive back. Previous play right before that, it was a simple, I think, just 10-yard carry up the middle, and he gained 5 yards after contact. He ran through a couple of Giants there. McCaffrey had some big runs. We're seeing far more often, Sterling. Not as much, of course, last week in Houston. That's a really unique situation. But we're seeing not the explosive, like game-breaking 50, 60-yard runs by McCaffrey, but you're seeing consistently 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-yard carries by this Niner offense. And that is why the Niners won this football game today, because they were consistently moving the chains on the ground. I mean, just look at what their last 2 drives were, Sterling. Their last 2 scoring drives. I want to make sure I get the numbers exactly right here. Their second to last scoring drive, it was the one that spanned the third and fourth quarters. It was a 9-play, 76-yard drive. The first play was a slant to Kendrick Bourne for 13 yards. The final 8 plays, which went for 63 yards, 8 straight runs. McCaffrey, McCaffrey, then Brian Robinson, and Brian Robinson. 8 straight runs, and you're getting, like, at worst, a 2-yard gain on a 3rd and 1, which is exactly what you want. And then the next drive, which put it away, which was the final touchdown of the game where the Niners would win with that score of 34-24, it was a 6-play, 60-yard touchdown drive, 5 runs and 1 pass, although one of them technically was a called pass because it was a Mac Jones scramble, but still 5 runs and 1 pass, which means, Sterling, on the Niners' last 2 real drives, other than the knee down at the very end, they ran 15 plays, 13 were runs, and both drives ended in touchdowns. That is when this Niner offense is at its best, when they can run the ball down your throat, and that's what they did today.